Have you ever noticed how sometimes opening your mouth is the first step to losing your peace? We live surrounded by noise, quick opinions, endless notifications, arguments where everyone wants to talk and no one wants to listen. The ancient Stoics knew something that our modern world has forgotten. Whoever masters silence masters himself. In this video, you'll discover 7 moments when keeping quiet isn't cowardice, it's intelligence in its purest form. 7 situations where silence becomes your shield, your wisdom, and your inner strength. If you've ever regretted reacting too fast, explaining too much, or defending yourself unnecessarily, this lesson will change how you deal with people and with life. Stay until the end because situation number 6 is the hardest one to master, and exactly the one that awakens the true Stoic spirit. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." Marcus Aurelius added, "Nothing external can harm you unless you allow it." And Seneca reminded us that silence is a kind of response, and often the noblest one. For them, silence wasn't the absence of sound, but the presence of reason. It was an active choice, the decision not to surrender the control of your mind to reckless words. In an age where every second gives birth to an opinion and kills a reflection, silence has become a rare superpower. To be quiet today is to shout, but with elegance, and perhaps it's the clearest sign of maturity one can show. Situation 1. When you're unfairly criticized. Think of that moment when someone twists your intentions or judges you without knowing the whole story. Your first instinct is to defend yourself to prove them wrong, but Stoicism teaches that what others say is beyond your control, only your reaction belongs to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone offends you, it's only because their opinion of you is mistaken. Staying calm shows strength. Let time and your actions speak for you. Remember, the echo of truth is slow but relentless. The Stoic wastes no energy arguing with time. He lets the results do the talking. Integrity, lived daily and quietly, is the most powerful argument that exists." Situation 2. When anger takes over. Anger is like fire. It starts small but burns everything if you feed it with air. Epictetus said, "Anyone can get angry, that's easy. But to stay calm while angry, that is strength." When you feel it rising, don't fight it, observe it. Feel the heat in your body, the tension in your jaw, and before reacting, breathe. Breathing is the first form of silence. Each pause is a brick of self-control. Words spoken in anger are arrows shot in the dark. They rarely hit the right target. Between impulse and response lies your freedom. Silence in the face of anger isn't weakness, it's protection. It's choosing peace over chaos, control over combustion. Situation 3. In the face of boasting and self-promotion. Some people turn every conversation into a stage, every moment into a performance. They speak to be admired, not to connect. Seneca wrote, "He who brags reveals his insecurity." When you encounter such people, remember, silence is confidence made visible. You don't need to compete or compare. The wise simply observe. While others show off what they have, the Stoic cultivates who he is. True strength doesn't need to announce itself. And when a dialogue turns into a contest, smile. Your calm presence will say everything words could not. Situation 4. In the middle of gossip and rumors. Rumors are like smoke. The more you blow, the faster they spread. Seneca said, "The best answer to slander is the integrity of one's life." The truth doesn't need to run. It walks steadily and always arrives. When falsehoods spread, resist the urge to explain or defend yourself endlessly. Ask yourself, is this a situation that truly needs my voice, or is it just my ego demanding justice? Most of the time, silence paired with consistent character is all that's needed. If you must speak, speak once, clearly and calmly, and then move on. The storm will pass. Each minute you save from gossip is a minute invested in peace. And nothing confuses lies more than a person who refuses to fuel them. Situation 5. When ignorance speaks louder. There are arguments that aren't conversations, they're duels of ego. No one listens, everyone wants to win. Epictetus warned, "Arguing with fools is wasting serenity." The wise know that silence can teach more than 1,000 explanations. When you realize the other person is debating to dominate, not to understand, withdraw. Not out of weakness, but wisdom. Set boundaries, protect your energy, preserve your mind. In a world obsessed with being right, peace is a rare rebellion. Those who choose silence in the face of ignorance lead by example, showing that serenity is not surrender, but mastery. Situation 6. When you face injustice. Few things test the soul like being treated unfairly. Injustice awakens the thirst for revenge, but Stoicism shows another path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike those who wrong you." Socrates faced death unjustly, yet met it with serenity. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison and left without bitterness. Both understood that silence can be revolutionary. It's not the silence that accepts injustice, but the silence that prepares for wise action. When you remain calm in unfair situations, you protect your integrity from contamination. You choose the higher ground, the one where peace and dignity reside. The silence of the just always ends up being heard. Situation 7. When you're insulted or provoked. Words can strike, but they only wound if you let them in. Epictetus said, "If someone offends you and you get angry, you have consented to be offended." Silence here is emotional independence in action. Each insult is a test. Will you give away your calm, or will you remain your own master? Imagine the sea. Every day people throw stones into it, and yet it remains the sea. It absorbs, it continues, it endures. So should you. If you must reply, keep it brief and neutral. "I understand, that's your opinion, let's move on." An insult starved of reaction loses power. When it falls into silence, it dies. Perhaps you're thinking, "But if I stay silent, won't I seem weak?" That's the trap. The silence we're talking about isn't fierce, it's command. It's the ability to choose when to speak, how to speak, and whether to speak at all. Don't confuse noise with strength. Rocks make noise when they fall, but it's the quiet river that shapes them. Silence is the home of awareness. It's where you listen to what truly matters. Those who practice it gain something priceless: inner predictability. People stop pressing your buttons because they realize the buttons no longer work. Apply this today. Pick one place to practice: traffic, work, a difficult conversation. Before replying, breathe, unclench your jaw, lower your shoulders, count to 5 and ask yourself, will speaking now improve the outcome or just ease my anxiety? If the answer is just anxiety, stay silent. Watch what happens. You'll find that in 9 out of 10 cases, silence resolves more than speech ever could. This small habit, repeated daily, builds an inner fortress. You begin to realize you don't need to win every conversation. You just need to win yourself. Notice too how silence changes how others see you. Noisy people lose credibility. Calm ones gain it. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. You're heard not because you insist, but because you embody what you say. That's how silence expands influence, not by forcing others to listen, but by inspiring them to. Now imagine applying these 7 lessons this week. When unfairly criticized, let time defend you. In anger, choose the pause before the reply. In the face of boasting, offer attention instead of competition. Amid gossip, feed facts, not flames. When ignorance shouts, protect your serenity. Facing injustice, align your values before acting. And when insulted, remain the sea, deep, calm, unshaken. This isn't theory, it's practice. A path tested for centuries by people who learn to live well even in chaos. In the end, it all comes down to one decision. Do you want to be governed by the world, or do you want to govern yourself? Stoicism answers with simplicity: govern yourself, and the world loses power over you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be one." Speaking is easy. Silence takes strength. And every time you choose the right silence, you strengthen the most powerful muscle you have: consciousness. Because whoever controls his words controls his destiny. And whoever masters silence masters the inner world, and with it, the direction of his life. If this video made you reflect, share it with someone who needs to rediscover the power of silence. And subscribe to Stoic Spring, because each lesson strengthens the habit of caring for your inner peace and growing in maturity. See you in the next video.